the future so bright?
Where's the? No,
Oh wow, God!
I can't tell you on the record why. Really, another really good Saturday practice. As you guys saw, tons of situations, and really the whole practice was live, including the special teams, which we don't do very often, but we just thought it was important to get that done. I think we made it through okay. You know, you probably want some injury updates from the other day, especially Ryan probably does. Thomas Duarte sprained his ankle. It's not serious. It's serious enough to keep him out of practice, but it's nothing that will keep him out long term. See, I think about the guys that are out here. Who else do you need to know about?
I think that was the only one.
You probably have a list.
Force of the back thing.
Yeah, his back's tight, and he tries to come out and do it, and it just tightens up. And you know, I don't want to put him out there where he's not full speed. I don't want to get him hurt. But it was a great practice, just situations. You know, we've got to become a situationally smart football team, and the only way that you do it is you practice it. And so we're going to practice it relentlessly. I like the way they respond. They compete their tails off. They're into it, and we've got 4 practices left. Well, 3, and then the spring game. We're hopeful that we can have 2 offensive lines for that, so that we can have an actual game. I mean, that's the goal. Because I want to go out and have a game. You know. Last night I watched Florida State's spring game, and I watched Nebraska's, and just the way they did it, and they were both different formats. What I'd like us to be able to do is actually play a real game. So, but it's all going to be dependent on how we are. I think we'll probably this coming week take the pads off a couple days. You know, we've gotten a lot of really good work done this spring, and see if we can't just be really sharp for Saturday night. So that was it.
Is it going to be kind of same format as last year, a little bit of showcase stuff?
No, it's going to be more football.
Gotcha.
That got along last year. I thought it'd be fun. It just got too long.
Right.
You know, we're having it at the StubHub Center. It's going to be a great venue. Hopefully we can get a good crowd in there and some good energy. But like I said, my goal is to make it game-like.
Right.
You know, and if we can't, we'll make it as close to game-like as possible, so that the people that are coming out can enjoy it. The other thing we're going to do is we're going to have an autograph session before, because it gets late afterwards. So we're going to come down there early, and I believe from 3 to 4, the players will be outside of the stadium signing autographs where they're having the fan fest and all that. And then we'll go in and get dressed and come out at 5 and really start from 5 and hopefully be done by 6:30. You know, so people can have a nice day with us.
Can we have an interview session during? Because we can get it even quicker.
Yeah, I will actually have my cell phone.
Cell phone, we'll just call you.
We'll just be on the sideline just grabbing guys.
Yeah. So a lot of guys making progress. You know, we keep bringing up the name Mossy Johnson, and he just continues to impress. I love the way our secondary is playing right now. I think we've made the last like 5 or 6 practices, we've made a great deal of improvement in our run defense. You know, some of the things that we're doing now are just a little bit different, not wholesale changes, but just a little bit different. And so it takes some getting used to, and it takes some trust. And what we saw this week in practice, guys are understanding it. So our fits are a lot better. And we're understanding our pass rush lanes better, and our blitz patterns better. And you know, I think Brett has really done a heck of a job. I think Jerry Neuheisel, you know, to me, and I know we've been asked this, and I said I'm not going to evaluate till the end of in the spring this backup quarterback situation, but he catches my eye. So I think there's a lot of really good things. It's great to have Malcolm Bunch here. You know, I mean, that guy is a really good football player, and he is versatile. You know, we knew that when he was coming from Miami. He played inside and he played outside, and with some of the injuries, some of the guys getting dinged up, he's had to bounce around. Another guy who's doing a really good job is Kylie Fitz. You know, I don't know if you guys notice him, but man, he's really taken a step up. Zach Vinci, you know, I mean, he's taken a step up. So there's a lot of good things going on, but a lot to work on.
Looked like Covington was taking most of the kicks yesterday. Was that just to give Kaimi a little bit of a rest?
Just give him a rest. And you know, Sean, when we were working it before it got live, he was just on and on and on. And then he came out and he struggled a little bit. He's actually a pretty decent kicker. Emi's been excellent all spring. He missed that last one. He hit the 52-yarder that would have won it. We jumped, which was a common theme today with the officials out there. You know, we probably had about 6 or 7 false starts, maybe 7 or 8. And so we had to back it up 5, and he didn't bury it. So that's not really on him. That's on the guys who jumped.
What have you seen out of Ashanti's development just over the last few weeks?
He's like I think you guys have seen. He stalled a little bit. Does it concern me a little? But I think it's common. You know, you reach a plateau and or a barrier, and you got to break through, and then you ascend again. I think that'll happen with him. I think that he puts a lot of pressure on himself and wants to be great, but he's still young. I think he has to understand that. Now, it's funny you asked that question because Brett and I were talking about it during the red zone Skelly there, and Brett, says, hey, these young guys, and he's talking about all the players, they don't understand how much studying, how much extra work it takes beyond just the meetings and the practice if you want to be great. And I think that's a great message, especially when it comes from a guy like Brett, who he's gotten to where he is because he has tremendous ability, but he's got that great work ethic as well. So he's a great example.
Is it just the mental aspect that is kind of that barrier for Ashanti right now?
I think so. I mean, he's got you guys see it, he's got every physical tool you could ever imagine in a quarterback. He's big, he's fast, he's strong, he's got a great arm. I mean, he's going to always have to work on his accuracy because he's young. But you're going to reach those mental barriers, especially when you're at a mentally demanding position like quarterback, And so we have to be patient to a certain extent, but we've also got to push him.
What have you seen from Fabian these past few weeks?
I don't notice him, and I think that's a good thing. They don't catch the ball on him. He makes some really good plays on the ball, though. Some good interceptions. I think Fabian is on the verge of being a great cornerback. I mean, and I'm not saying just using that word lightly. I think he's on the verge of being a great cornerback, like one of the best in college football. If he has the kind of year that I think he's capable, he's an All-American to me. I haven't seen a guy in the films I've watched, I haven't seen a guy that I think can be as good as Fabian. I know that's high cotton, that's high praise, but I really believe that.
Did you just say high cotton?
I know, like I'm C.
What are you, the Falcons coach again?
I know, what the hell was that? That's trying to be some coach cliches.
Oh, don't worry, we've got a bunch already.
Yeah, you never know what's going to come out of this mouth. So.
Was there a time when the lights kind of came on for him?
For Fades?
Yeah.
Probably midway through last year. He just started, you could see his confidence start to swell. And he had a great offseason. I mean, he's a tremendous worker. I mean, you look at him, he's walking off right now. I mean, he's built like you want a corner to be built. He's got long arms, he's a little bit bow-legged, he's strong, he's physical, he can play the ball. Being a former offensive player, he's got really good ball skills and awareness, and he's got a demeanor about him that I think every corner has to have, and it's kind of like the last play just kind of disappears from his mind, and he just stays right in the moment, and that's what the great corners do. If they got beat or if they made a play, that play's over, and they're just on to the very next play, and I love that about Fabian.
Is that part of the fun of college football, taking guys like raw material, running back, and turning him into a corner?
Yeah, and just watching him develop. Because I really do believe, you're looking at it, that's an NFL corner right there. If he keeps developing the way he's developing, he's a surefire first-round pick. I'd take him in the first round, for sure. I've coached some pretty good corners, too. So.
Thanks, guys.
Okay, all right, man.